Over the past couple years, there's been one name you keep hearing in tennis, Carlos Alcaraz. He's currently the #1 player in the world, won 7 majors, and now he's the youngest man ever to complete the career Grand Slam. Alcaraz might have some of the craziest skills of anyone to ever pick up a racket. But how are his skills with a golf club?
Bro, yes. That was a great drive, dude.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Do it. Aye.
Good putt.
Carlos is joining me for a special edition of Break 50, the series where I try to shoot an impossible 49 in a 2-man scramble from the front tees. Today we're in Miami Beach, Florida at Gorce Country Club, a par 71. And in order to break 50, we've got to shoot an insane 22 under. That's 14 birdies and 4 eagles.
A little long?
Ah.
Are you kidding me? Did you see that? That looked good. I don't know, that's pretty good.
Carlos has also been keeping an eye on the Break 50 leaderboard. And right now, that record belongs to a legend from another sport, Stephen Curry. So let's get into it and see if Carlos and I can break that record.
Dude, let's freaking go, baby. Thank you.
Are you ready?
Yes, dude, this is amazing. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you very much.
This is gonna be a challenge, but I believe we can do it. We did it with Steph, one of the best in the world. You're the best in the world. Let's go, baby. Let's do it.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
All right, what do we got here?
290-yard par 4, dead into the wind, no water up there. Just a straightaway hole. Let's see what Carlos has for us. Nice. Cut in there. Cut in there. Keep cutting. Good shot. That'll be good. Nice drive.
He's there. He's there.
It is out there, dude. Good shot. This will be the hardest one, by the way.
The first one.
Little nervous?
A little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. It's fun, man. All right, I gotta drive this green here. We gotta start off hot with an eagle. That flag is just looking me right in the face. Chase, don't say it. Be right. Be right, baby. Come on. That looked good. I don't know, that's pretty good.
Looked pretty good.
Yeah, let's see. Let's go. That was sick. I gotta keep this up. I don't know if I can. Dude, I'm telling you, we've got to start off hot in this challenge.
Yeah.
13 birdies, 5 eagles for 23 under. It's crazy. It's par 72, right? Hold up, wait. Oh, it's a par 71.
71.
Oh my gosh, so we only have to do, so it's, let's see, 22 under par. So we gotta go 22 under par. So 4 eagles and 14 birdies, essentially. 8, 22. Yep, that's my math.
Wow.
Bad at math.
But
That was pretty good there.
you
had a nice drive too. A little cut in there. So you normally cut the ball?
Yeah, I normally cut the ball.
Got it. 10 feet, baby. Let's go.
Vamos.
That's sick. That's a good way to start. Steph did it to me. He did it to like 8 feet and made it. It was so sick.
I saw it. I was remember the first hole with the Steph.
Yep.
He drive the green
Right
like
next to the hole.
10 feet as well.
Yep, and knocked it in. Well, you're gonna knock this one in.
It's a special shot.
That was a good shot to start off the day. What do you think, Chase? Pretty solid?
Was it a 3-wood? Must have been, right?
It was a driver.
Gonna be left to right a little bit. Here,
Yep,
more or less.
dude, that's perfect. You're reading it. It's great. Great read.
Up the hill, right?
Just a little. Oh, crushed it.
too
Oh,
much.
crushed it.
Wow.
That's all right. All right, pressure's on now.
I'm gonna take it. You're gonna do it better.
Oh my gosh, it broke. No. Chase, that's my mistake there. Gosh. Yeah, beautiful. Nice birdie. Well, that's a good start.
Okay.
That's right on track. Hey, by the way, that's on track.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
So putting's gonna be the thing.
It was the nerves from the first hole.
Nerves. The putting is not going to be the thing today, Chase. That was just like a warm-up. Don't even worry about that, okay? You might as well just erase that from the memory card. All right, what's number 2 now? Let's see what we got. 3, okay, so this
Par
should be...
5?
No, par 4.
Par 4.
Yeah, so we got par 4, par 4.
All right. So it's long par 4. Nice.
Yeah. How far do you normally hit it? Like 290?
I
That's
go
perfect.
with meters. I normally, if I hit it well, 260 carry
Yeah.
meters.
Okay.
I think I can do it.
Perfect. 292 to the flag. So downwind, gonna play like 270. Good left. Good strike though. That should be up there. Get up on the green. Come on. Yeah.
Is there?
Shot. I think that's there. Good shot, man.
Thank you.
Nice ball. Awesome, brother. It's just a nice little 5-wood here. Okay, Chase, this one's for you. Oh, get right. Get right. Oh, that a car path?
I think the path.
Cart path.
Oh, no.
Bounced out of bounds.
That's not good. That's for you. Son of a gun. I can't believe that hit the car path and went out.
You can't dedicate trash like that to me.
5 good?
I think it's fine. I think we'll be okay where you're at. That was a great drive, dude.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Didn't hit that well, but it's there.
It's fine.
It's there.
That's fine. Yeah, that thing hit the car path. Dang it. That's crazy, dude.
You hit 5 good?
5-wood.
5 good.
I just pulled it a little
That's
bit, but that's golf.
That's golf.
That's the thing.
golf.
You know, sometimes it's not always perfect, but you're in a great great place to get up and down. Oh, look at that. Scuff that bad boy up.
Shit.
Jeez. I get a new ball.
How often do you change the ball?
I try to change it once every 9 holes, but if it scuffs like that, I'll change it the next hole.
All right.
Yeah. Carlos got us in a good place.
First contribution.
I'm happy. I'm already happy.
You got it off your chest.
For me, it's the day is done.
So we're gonna start this out, I think, right under the, you see the shadow of the flag?
Yes, but the
Yeah, the tip of it, just
yeah.
under the tip of the shadow. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Get in. Do it. Oh! Good putt.
Hi.
Great putt, dude. Wow.
Get in. Get in.
Oh my God. Son of a gun, I thought I made that, bro.
I thought both it was going to be short.
Really? It's fast, man. These greens are pure right now. They are moving. Oh, nice. Good putt. Good putt. Nice birdie. 2 birdies in a row.
We're there. We're there.
Yep. We're on track. We've got to make an eagle here sometime soon, but we're on track, Chase. We're on track. All right, guys. So we're going to check out today's prediction presented by Underdog. What do you think? How many pars, how many birdies, and how many eagles do you think we're going to make today? 8 with Grant and Garrett, 5 with Dude Perfect, Adam Sandler 5, Jason Kidd 1, Steph Curry 6. Steph Curry 6 and we shot 49. So how many do you guys think we're going to make today?
We're trying to get to 5.
Well, the par is 71, by the way. So 4 eagles today and 14 birdies, or 5 eagles and a par and 13 birdies, something like that.
It's tough when you leave 2 on the table in the first 2 holes.
Thanks.
Also, guys, the big game is here, and if you want to get in on the action, you have to check out Underdog. It's super simple. You just pick higher or lower on 2 or more player stats like touchdowns, receptions, and more. And you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Underdog's available in most states, including Texas, California, and Florida. New customers get $75 in bonus entries when they play just $5 to get started. Just use code Bryson when you sign up, and it'll load instantly. And as always, play responsibly.
Par 5. 445 yards.
It's time to get the eagles rolling.
Yeah, it is time to get the eagle. We've got to make eagle on this hole. All right.
So, wind is helping or wind is
It's off the
lateral?
right. It's hurting a little bit. It is the number 1 handicap. Nice.
Number 1?
Number 1 handicap.
I got points here?
Yeah. You get you get strokes.
No.
Get left. All right. It's okay. It's okay. Let me see if I can get this out there. Pressure's on me, Chase.
Oh, baby.
That's beautiful.
It's perfect. What are you talking about, Chase? Don't give me
Right
that.
in the middle. That's
Don't give me that,
beautiful.
Chase. Thank
What?
you.
Don't give you
You were like, oh baby, like I hit it in the water or something.
No, I said it like it was good.
Oh, okay, all right. Hey.
Who says "oh baby" when it's going to the water?
I don't know.
I was told
you.
that Borgmeyer.
Well, you're a psycho. You have to hit the right shot. Water's, in play, and it's a break 50. I've got to hit the perfect shot. It just puts so much pressure on yourself, and it's so much fun being able to like execute on demand in the most pressure intense situations. I mean, you experience that all the time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're able to, have an ace in an important, game, right? And
That's a great feeling.
yeah.
Or before that, you feel that nerves that you gotta be perfect, but then when you do it,
You're
like the way you want it,
yeah, it feels so good.
so good. Getting that nerves, like in the crucial moments, it is really good. For example, for me, I really wanted to experience and face that challenge.
Yep,
you
walking
know.
through the fire,
Yes.
as I would say. That's one of my favorite things to do. I love walking through that and giving myself that chance
Yeah.
to be successful.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are scared of it, where I would say, no, walk through the fire. Like, get in that environment,
Yeah.
be nervous, and be uncomfortable being nervous so you can get comfortable being uncomfortable, is what I would say. Like, the more uncomfortable you are, honestly, the better.
Absolutely.
Because you learn from it.
Absolutely. And then I would say the real champions wants that.
Yes.
Wants to go through the fire, as you
Yep.
say.
Yep.
So and then the other players that they don't want to face that challenge, I would say they are not gonna achieve the greatest
right.
things in the sport.
That's
so
right.
That's what I think.
141.
Yards.
141 yards. Yeah, so it's 127 meters.
127.
I'm thinking I'm going to play a little pitching wedge here, control the spin. That's it. Get left, just a little left.
I cut it a little bit.
That's okay. Good distance though. Good distance. We're going to do a 10 o'clock pitching wedge here, Chase. Hopefully I can stuff it. We need this eagle. Go. That's my fault. Darn it. Not bad, but we can make that for eagle. Gotta
That's
make
good
that.
though.
That's fine. Not my best. But I controlled the spin.
Yeah.
That's a win. Oh, he's got it. Thank you. What's the most frustrated you've ever been on the tennis court?
I experienced a few times that I was really frustrated. Like the other players were playing unbelievable and I couldn't do anything. For example, when I played in Miami last year,
Okay.
quarterfinal against Grigor Dimitrov,
Yeah.
I was seeing my team like what else I can do.
Yeah.
You know,
Can't do
I don't know. I don't know.
what to
I don't
do.
know what I had to do because he was destroying me. Like or Miami this year
Yeah.
that I lost in the first round. I was really disappointed. Then I have few in 2021. I played in France, in Paris, against a French player.
Okay, who is that?
It was Hugo Gaston, and
I don't know. I've heard of him.
with the crowd and that stuff, it was really difficult for me. I always try to take the positive things in everything. It doesn't matter if you experience the worst time of your life in a tennis court, off the court.
Yeah.
You gotta see, because there is always something positive
Yeah.
about it, and then trying to just focus on that and trying to forget about everything negative.
Yep.
And trying to be better the next time, because you are
That's
you are gonna face that moment again for sure.
That's right. Come on. Oh, good speed, good speed. That's good speed, partner.
Thank you.
Nice putt. All right, Chase, this is it right here. You gotta knock this in.
Curl in.
Boom! Son of a gun. Dang it, dude. That's unfortunate. Well, that's not our best, but we've got plenty of opportunities to drive the greens and make eagles. So 3 under par through 3, par 5, should have made eagle. That's my bad on the wedge shot.
We got 8 majors right here.
You know what's
You
funny?
think
And
we'd be able to make an
we don't know how to make an eagle.
He
I'm not really used to making eagles, to be honest. So
Well, you're used to winning majors. You got 4 more than me.
what Roger, Djokovic, and Rafa did, like
Yeah.
for the for 20 years.
Yes.
The last 20 years they split the Grand Slams almost just between them, and then the number one just 4 players.
Well, you and Yannick are doing the same thing, right?
The last 2 years we just splitting everything. So
I think you've had the same amount of points against each other, like 1,651 shots or something. Like
yes,
equally against each other. Yeah, that's crazy.
Same winning points.
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to smoke this 5-iron.
You're hitting a 5-iron. I'm gonna hit the driver.
It's right at it. A little high in the face. That's still fine. It's right at it.
He's there.
Get there. If that gets there.
No, it's short.
That's fine. Okay, can you tell me how to say vámonos? Like, how do you go? Vámonos. Like let's go.
Like vamos or vamos.
Vámonos. Vámonos.
It's more vamos.
Vamos. Vamos. Vamos. All right, I gotta hit this hard. Oh no.
Oh God.
That's pulled. That's 2 car paths. What am I doing? Oh no, Bryson. That's my fault there. Gee, many Christmas. Got over the top on it.
No oh baby on that one.
Oh my gosh, man. That's the thing right there, trying to go after it. Get a little cute with it. Gosh. Let's knock this one in though. We can chip it in, I believe. 50.
50?
Yep, 50 yards.
No. So scary.
It's all right. That's the toughest part, man. With all this grain and everything, it's really difficult.
That's for me the most difficult part of
golf.
Of my game right now, and then the golf.
Oh, God, that was close. Just a little too hard, but that was good. Had a good spin on it and everything. Knocked that in for birdie, and we're fine. We just gotta not hit it out of bounds. 7 feet. This goes just a little right. It's right here. That's great. Roll this bad boy in. Get it. Good try. Good try. Goes downhill to the right.
Yes.
Easy. Let's go, baby.
Vamos.
Nice birdie. Good birdie after the OB shot on me. So, way to get us in the fairway there, partner. Great job.
The worst hole we had it, and we made birdie.
Still made birdie. Well, that's the fun part about it is that, even though we feel like we're not doing as good as we could, we're still super far under par. We're 4 under par.
Yeah.
So once we start making a couple eagles here, we'll be under par real quick. Well, what do we have here, partner? 252. I got 252 that flag. This is going to be a wild shot, Chase. This is the golf I like right here. I want to see what Carlos does, though. What are you thinking? What's your shot?
I'm gonna go.
Right over it?
Yeah.
Okay, knock it right over. Oh, right through it. That's perfect. Get right.
Just a little bit to the
To
left.
the left, yeah. That's okay. That was sick, though. Did you see that? That's gonna be a sick shot tracer. I love it, man. Downwind 20. Might be 7-iron, but shoot it up in the air. Should be okay. I don't know. Where is that?
Should be there.
Should be right up by the green.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe just a little left of the green. That was a good shot, though. Straight up over everything. That was a good strike. That's going to be a sick shot tracer between the trees. So, what was it like winning your first major?
It was amazing. I mean, it was my dream. So and the way that I did it, it was more satisfied because
Really?
because I think I was the player who spent more time on court till the final or to win the major. I think I spent like in the whole tournament 24, 25 hours on court.
Oh my God.
So it was 4 matches in the pits. It was a thrilling every match. So
You were that guy.
yeah.
It's gonna go a little right, and it's gonna go left at the end. It's still gonna break this way, but
At the beginning?
it's going almost right at the beginning, isn't it?
The right coming up.
And then right to left coming down. Hey Carlos, I'm gonna tell you, it does break more right than I thought. We have to aim it a little more left to right.
A little bit more?
Aim it in between the flag stick,
Yeah?
the shadow, and,
Okay.
and the tip of the shadow and the hole. So
All right.
right in between those. That's my fault, man.
No.
Go, 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 go.
No.
You did die it right up there. It did die. Shoot. It's not that fast down there. That's right on line too. Son of a gun, Chase. Man, just a couple feet harder and that might be in the hole.
Yeah, but
Son of a gun.
I mean, control this,
Yeah,
the speed.
it's just right on the edge. Dude, nice roll. Way to go.
Let's go.
That was awesome. Great birdie. Great putt. We're okay. We've got plenty of time left, Chase. The only issue is that we've got some par threes coming up.
That's true.
We got to make hole-in-ones. That's okay. Hey, I've never had a hole-in-one on my channel. I'd love for it to be our first hole-in-one on the channel. That'd
And
be
I
sick.
haven't done a hole-in-one in my life.
You haven't?
Not
is-
in my life.
this is
Could
the
be
time.
great. Could be great doing here,
this
right?
is the time, bro. This is the time. All right.
It's a little bit of lucky as well.
It
sometimes.
is. It is. I've come really close. I've done everything to the hole, and just it's never gone in. I've made it a albatross before, a 2 and a par 5. That was when I was 15, though. It was in junior golf in a tournament. I went from even par to 3 under, and I was like, that was easy. That was so easy. Why don't I just do that every time?
Every time. Golf is easy, right?
It's so
when
easy.
you made it,
Yeah.
golf is easy.
It's way easy, and then all of a sudden, it's the hardest game in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
My partner wins off
All right.
the left. Oh, be good. Be good. Sit down. Come back. Come back. Come back. Oh, that's a good shot, though, man. Great strike.
He's there.
Great strike. 130-yard shot, Chase. This is where I thrive. That's where I thrive.
Too strong.
That is unbelievable. That is so sad, Chase. I want to run in the water right there. I told you my wedge game's good.
I love the sound though.
It sounds great, but it's just completely in the wrong direction. You were literally a foot away from having to go back to the hole. So crazy. Yeah, and you just got to get it going down the slope. It'll get there.
It's like literally
Yeah,
making die the ball here, right?
yeah. I'd say try to die it just on the green.
On the green.
Yeah. Come on. Ah, I'm surprised I didn't get there. Good in. Son of a gun, dude. Yep, beautiful. Good roll. Easy. God, I tried to go after that one. I couldn't leave it short. That's frustrating. That's 5 under through 6. We got to pick it up.
We're gonna get
It's
there.
always, you know how you talk about being the most, having the most time on the court? You never gave up, right?
Yeah.
You fought till the last point was had, right?
You
keep going.
wait your moment.
That's right. 218 to the wind. This is the bucked up drivable hole, right?
Yes, it is. Big stuff today.
Yep. If we both hit it on the green, that means 3 people that comment down below are going to get a year's supply of bucked up. If we both hit the green. So, what do you think the odds are on that? I think we can do it. So, if we both hit the green here, we're going to give 3 lucky fans a year's supply of bucked up.
I'm gonna go for it.
Let's go.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
go for it.
I believe in you. I know you can do it.
No.
Bounce right. Bounce right. Maybe hit a sprinkler. I don't know. If I hit it within 10 feet, Chase, I'm going to give someone who comments a year-long supply of bucked up. How about that?
Oh, did you do it?
Oh, that's.
Get left.
Go left a little bit. Go left.
I don't know.
It's up there.
So that was right at it, Chase. That wind might have smoked it.
I don't know if you drank enough.
Massive.
I don't think I drank enough. I'm trying my best out here. Oh, wow, that's way short. Dude, there was so much wind. This is probably an easier shot for you.
That's mine?
Yeah, that's yours. It's probably an easier shot. Do you want to do that, or that one's off of a down slope? It's got, I mean, this is way easier.
Did a full effort for the fans there.
I gave it everything I had there. It just was, the wind was too strong. That's my bad. Go, go. Oh, it's spun. Still a good shot though, partner. Oh, good shot. All right, watch this. I'm gonna give you a little something here. Carlos, I'm sucking so bad right now. You just blame everything on me right now. Wow.
You gotta be between these things.
Yep,
What do you think?
I love it. He's gonna roll this one in though, it won't matter. Oh, you called it. I thought you had it, dude. What the heck? Good roll.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Nice.
This is the start.
Yes.
Is it
We
the
just
start?
started.
Is
Yeah,
it
we
the
just
start? I don't know. We'll see. We've got to give ourselves more chances for eagles. That is unacceptable. You ever felt any? Oh, tennis rackets have big grips too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, big. Well, actually, not that much than this one. Huh?
I know, it's very similar.
Yeah.
I don't know why golf has such small grips. I've never understood that. So when I was 15, I tried these big grips and it felt super comfortable to me, and I just kept using it.
I think I'm gonna, or I should put bigger grips on my
It'd
clubs.
probably be
because
more comfortable. I'll send you some. I'll send you some. 95. It's 95. Into the wind. It's playing like almost 90 meters. 90 meters.
meters.
Yeah. We've got to make a hole-in-one here. I'm sick and tired of not making hole-in-ones. It should be every single hole that's a hole-in-one, right, Chase?
You've been sick and tired for 32 years. Carlos has got the little flag on his clubs. That's nice.
Oh, that's sick. Spain. Yeah, good shot. Nice shot, dude. Look at that thing come back. Very nice. Hey,
Let's go.
now you gave me the confidence to hit it close. Chase, shut up. Dude, I am so off with my wedges right now. Come back. Come back. Come on. Come on. Oh, hey, look at this.
Trophies.
That is so sick. What's your favorite major or Grand Slam?
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon, for sure.
Wimbledon is the one that.
That's it.
Yeah, you win just one major, one Grand Slam. It's gotta be Wimbledon. Wimbledon is it gives you the most status.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like the Masters.
So, yeah.
How would you say that in Spanish? It's going right to left.
De derecha a izquierda.
Derecha
Derecha a izquierda.
a izquierda. Derecha a izquierda.
Izquierda.
That's close. I'll get there. I'm trying, man.
You're gonna get some words.
That's perfect, man. I
Yes,
like that.
it's
I
good.
love it. Roll this sucker in. Come on, we need it. That looks good. Go!
Short again. Come on, Charlie.
Oh my gosh.
Go.
All right, it's fine. We're having fun. This is fun.
Either one.
Yes.
There we go. Walked it in. It's fine. Let's go. Good stuff. All right, we need an eagle though. We're 7 under through 8. We have to make an eagle, dude. This is getting ridiculous. We got to get to 10.
We don't have too many par fives. That's
That's a problem. That's a bit of the problem. But that's okay. See, this is perfect. 272. Look at that. So you want to be
268.
268. Perfect. Downwind. This is just gonna be a 5 iron for me.
There's nothing.
You want to be short than anything. You don't want to be long. Just left of the flag. Knock it in. Come on. Oh, be good. Be good. Why don't you, sweetheart? That's a good shot, dude. Is that bunker, you think, or probably bunker water? Yeah, that's crazy. Great shot, though, dude. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Good strike. Let's go. Nice strike.
Oh, this money. Yes.
Be good, sweetheart.
That's good.
Should be running up there. I think that'll be good. Maybe a little short. Man, just a little harder and it's right there. Shoot. It's okay. I'm not worried. We're not freaking out. We need to make this. We need to make this. Wait, we're 7 under 3, so we need to go eagle, then go 9 under. Jeez. Come on, Bryson. I think you'd putt this one, man.
Should I?
Yeah. This fringe is going to slow it down a little bit. So hit it like you're hitting it uphill just a little. It's a little uphill. Act like it's uphill. Come on, knock this in. Sit down, sit down, sit. All right. Just pulled it a little bit.
Yes, a little bit.
It's okay. Let's see what we got here. Go! Oh! Son of a rat's golly,
That
Chase.
was it too. That was perfect, Jeff.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah, no, I am.
Golly, son of a gun. That's a birdie. That's 8 under through 9. We have got to pick up the pace and go for a legendary back 9 to shoot 49. We can do it though. We've got a superstar over here. Best in the world. If there's anyone that can do it, it's Carlos. Hey, Bryson, how are you, man?
I'm doing
Pleasure.
well. You sent Ryder a video.
What's up, dude? Good to see you. That's right, Ryder. Good to see you, buddy. You all right?
Cool.
This is Carlos.
Say hi to Carlos.
How are you? How are you, my friend?
Mom's favorite tennis video.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Who's your favorite golfer?
Not me. I'm kidding. I love it, buddy. See you guys. Thank you. I love that. That's my favorite. Inspiring kids.
Yeah,
so
no,
cool,
that's,
man.
That's,
That inspired me.
That's what I feel because I always remember when I was a little kid, I was running behind all the tennis players just to try to sign my ball or my hat or whatever I had, in that moment. And I had the chance to play when I was 14 and to practice with some professional players that I idolized them. So and it was really inspiring and helpful moment for me. So I thought, right now I'm feeling like, I gotta do whatever I can, for those kids, for those people who are just waiting for me to a signature, to a photo. So the least I can do is just do that for them.
You're gonna inspire a new young generation of players that come after you, man. And that's the legacy and footprint you want to leave, right?
Absolutely, and for me that's the most important thing.
All right, well, it's 3:13. It's a long drive, so I'm gonna have to pump it up there. But I want you to get it out there in the fairway.
We're already warm up. So
yeah, we're warmed up now. We're now into the let's just say second or third set.
that's where I'm playing my best tennis.
That's right.
No,
Just the face turnover. It's okay. I got you, partner. It's all right. Watch this, dude. This is gonna be sick. Oh no. Wow, I'm hitting it everywhere today. Chase, that is not good. I don't know, so it's crazy. I'm going through speed training right now, so I'm changing up a couple things in my game, just trying to get a little faster, which I do have speed, but it just kind of starts to getting a little offline. I don't know. Have you ever tried to hit it harder in tennis and it kind of mess you up a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I feel, in tennis, just sometimes better to do smooth than harder.
Gotcha.
Just to get a really good feeling with the ball than sometimes when I just wanted to destroy the ball, I just move all my body, didn't get that good feeling though.
Yep. And sometimes I don't care. I'm just going as hard as I can. So I'm
that's true. Sometimes I do as well. So how far are you? Sorry? It's
43? 46.
46.
Okay. This is not easy, dude. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, beautiful. Dude, no.
Oh,
There's
stay
no
there.
way you can do that
stay
ever
there.
again. What? I don't know what to say. That was a great swing. Oh my gosh,
What
what
a
was
bounce.
that bounce?
Was that-
What that just hit?
What is that?
And that's golf, by the way.
That's true.
That's like a bad bounce on the clay court. You know? That happens all the time, doesn't it?
Same shot, different bounce.
result.
It's
Jeez.
you can do the same shot and then bounce totally differently.
Completely differently, yeah. Which one do you think? Carlos?
Think yours is much better.
All right.
Mine, I think it's a little bit more down the hill.
Okay. Well, we'll do that then.
Yeah, I
We're
think
struggling right now.
yours is easy. It's easy.
We have got to make something happen here. Starting just outside that, it'll go over that right edge. Yep. Stay up, stay up. Ah, just underneath it. It's all right.
No, it was
Not easy.
a bit strong.
What?
There's a force
What
field
the
on
fuck
it
is
today.
going on?
Well, Chase,
That's a par.
we suck right now.
We're gonna need to go on a generational run.
Oh, we have the chance. There's still a chance. I just got to lock in for a second. Give me just a second, Chase. Okay, that's a second. This is a par 5.
Finally.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Where's... Oh, it's all the way up there. Never mind.
Always water in the right.
I know, dude. It's okay. All right, I'm going to pump this drive, by the way. We have to make eagles now. There's just no other choice. Too many pars. 2 pars and all the other birdies. Stay there. Just
Shit.
slicing it.
It's always to. Wow. Right in the middle.
Carlos, I'm going to go after this one. That's fine.
Yeah, that's there. All right.
Okay, we have to make eagle here now. Come
go.
on.
Spank it.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, it's doing horrible.
How would you rate my performance today, Chase?
I think so far we're sitting at about a 4.
I appreciate that. Right off the start, though, it was good. Carlos, I want you to knock this in the hole.
Make an albatross here.
Just knock it in. Just knock it in.
No, Charlie. Well, no. That was not good.
All right.
Wow.
It's okay.
Feeling the knife right now.
Golf sucks. It's so much fun. All right, that's fine. So the 10
That's
within
beautiful.
10 feet.
That's beautiful.
It's a little bit better. Am I up to like a 4.5 now? You ever done anything on YouTube before? Did you grow up watching YouTube at all?
I grew up watching YouTube, but not that much.
Okay.
For example, I used to play FIFA,
Yeah.
so I watch a lot of YouTubers, streamers
Streamers,
that
yep.
play FIFA.
Okay. I used to watch gamers all day long. It
Yeah.
was so much fun, especially during the pandemic.
Trying to improve.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I play FIFA. I see that I see myself really bad. So I see them just trying what they're doing.
Yeah. Is there anybody that does it in tennis? Like does YouTube for tennis?
Not really.
No.
Not really.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just a little
10
bit.
feet. Yep, just a little. Right to left. Yeah, just about an inch or 2 out. Right there. Just outside the edge. Come on, come on, come on.
No, fuck you.
I love you talking. I'm just gonna walk this one in. I told you.
One on the board.
That's foil.
You shut your mouth. You quiet over there, okay?
That's foil for us right now.
Yeah. That's like, we have to have that. That's like a birdie.
Yeah.
We have to make eagle now. Every single hole coming in. What do you think's harder, golf or tennis?
That's the question. That's the question. I always say I think it's easier to learn how to play tennis
Okay.
than playing golf.
see
A
that
level
perspective.
that you can enjoy.
Yeah.
But a professional, I think it's difficult to get it to get in the tennis. Professional, I mean like top 100.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least top 100 or getting into a tour than a golf.
So you think it's
I
more
think so.
difficult to get into the top 100 in tennis than it is to get into the top 100 in golf?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I could see that. That's fair. Think about when you've got a ball coming at you compared to like it's on the tee. You have so much time to think, is what you were
Yes.
just saying. And so explain that difference to me. When a ball's coming at you and you're just reacting compared to it being there and staying still. What's the difference for you?
What I see in golf, for example, is a less as you think is better, and in tennis more you practice that. You know how to do it. So it's just about 1 second. You think or you have to hit the ball in the right place.
Yeah.
So it's more instant than think.
What about like in tennis when you're throwing it up and you're just not hitting your serve in? Like, what's that feeling like? Like, how do you get over that?
Yeah, I mean, you know how to do it, so you feel what
you
you
need
did
to do.
wrong. Yeah, probably you threw the ball in a bad line, you threw
okay.
the ball like not high enough, or
Okay. So you can make adjustments.
Yes,
Got it.
yes, a little bit.
He's playing like 295. Another 3-wood for me. Got to bring this 3-wood out. Start showing it what to do. So here on this one, all I want you to feel like is you turn the face over. Feel like the face turns over, like you're hitting it to left court.
Like,
Yeah.
or
Just feel like you do more. Take it back. Yeah. Feel like it's more like that.
all right,
Like you just turn it over.
all right.
Like you're hitting more topspin, almost on it. Yep. Just be free with it. Oh, you turned it over. Oh, it's my fault. I had too much. Shoot. That's all right. It's okay. That's not. Hey, look. You turned it over.
I fix it.
You did.
I fix.
It's just
I fixed
a
the
little,
pay.
little too much. Do something. Sit. That's a little better. That thing rolled out, dude. Gosh, that was right next to the hole too.
I don't know about that.
Golly, we got to get this train rolling. That's for eagle.
That was really good.
We can make it.
How many hours do you practice there?
So it really depends. I'm off season right now, so I'm not practicing
Yeah.
as much. But
That's good.
when it gets into tournament season, I'll be grinding pretty much every day for 3-4 hours
Nice.
at least. Putting, chipping, you name it. Like I'm
Just
all in.
the same amount of time between like partying, sipping, or there is a game.
It depends.
It depends.
Yeah, so if
Depends
I'm-
on what you
what I need to
feel.
work on.
Yeah,
Exactly. This is a swinger. It's got to be up here.
up here, right?
They put it right on the crown for us, didn't they? toughest one. Just make sure you follow that line. That line where it's pointed is perfect. You got a bug on, I saw that. Son of a gun. Come on, knock it in. Come on. Come on.
Wow,
Good try.
Too much, Charlie.
Oh, I broke a lot. I thought that was a good, decent, I don't know. I'm just going to shut up now. It's frustrating, but birdie, it's all right. I'm going to cry.
Keep trying, keep trying.
Call this dropping to Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, we got to beat Phil. There's no chance we lose to him. Let's just, what? Oh my gosh, look at the iguana. That's sick.
All right.
Thing's chilling up there. Play just about 100 yards here. So I'm gonna play just over 10 o'clock, 55 degree for me. I can't, this needs to go in the hole. We need to make a hole in one here. Get right, get right. That spun a lot. Good shot. Whoa. Thing's still spinning. What did you put on that?
Shit.
Holy crap.
They got down the hill a little bit as well, so
Something, I think.
seems.
What would you do if I made this, Chase? Gosh, short.
Good shot though.
It's warming up, but too late right now. What have you been working on?
All right, the serve, for example, the serve is something that in tennis the last 5 years has been really important. Has taken more importance.
Really?
In the game.
Okay.
And the running forehand, for example, I was struggling a little bit, so the players knew that that was something
Gotcha.
that I don't do
As well.
as good as
So you've been working
other
on
things.
the forehand a lot?
Yeah, I've been working on that a lot just to
Get
be
more
comfortable and
Is it a
aggressive.
consistency thing or?
Consistency and hitting the ball, because for example, when I was running, I was trying to defend all the time instead of attack.
It's so crazy that you're analyzing other people in tennis compared to just a golf course.
Yeah.
Wild.
So I watch a lot of matches from the players.
Yeah.
Just to see what they're doing good,
Yeah.
in the tournaments, what they're doing bad, and trying. I play with them, in that week. I already know.
Yeah, what they're gonna do.
Which part of the game they're doing well or not.
It's pretty straight here, man. Just straight away, knock it in. This game of golf is really hard. Sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. Money.
Yes.
Let's go.
At least
birdie.
once.
Let's go.
One part.
Vamos.
Almost.
Vamos.
Right now, I got in the point that I'm going to practice golf.
Yeah.
I'm going to practice.
work hard. So you've been just playing mainly. You haven't really practiced.
Right now, I had more time because I'm at the end of the season, so I don't practice that much.
What is your off season
now?
now? And how long is it?
2 weeks.
Man alive.
We're going 3 wood here.
3 wood, 310, right? Si se puede. You got it.
Si se puede.
Puede. I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
That was a good line. That was a good line.
Thank you. Bro, yes. Get left. Get there. Come on. Yes.
The best drive of the day.
Let's go. Sick.
Si se
Great.
puede.
Si se
Si se
puede.
puede.
Yes.
That is the term. Let's go. No, I just pulled it. Son of a gun. Why am I doing that? Well, great drive, partner. That's
You're
what
there.
we
We're
needed.
there.
That was what we needed. Good stuff. God, nice drive, dude. I was trying to smoke that one. Usually I'm way better at being aggressive, but today I'm not for some reason.
I mean, that's. I mean, I was going to say like that's golf, but that's everything. Tennis is like
It is.
you woke up and then you could play a really great match, and then the next day you have a match, and then feel completely different.
I know.
So it's
wild. It's a wild deal.
yeah. In tennis, we say like the probably 85 of the matches we play per year, we don't feel as good as we want.
Yeah.
The 75%.
Yeah.
And you gotta survive that.
Yep.
So that makes the difference between the
best
probably the top 30 or top 50 than the top 5 or top 10.
That's right.
That those days they make the most.
They make the most of it. What they
of
have.
that day.
Yep.
Give that the 100% that day and survive.
Yep. Come on, this is where you knock it in. Yeah, exactly. Right about there. Yep.
All right. Yep.
That's perfect.
Got it.
Sit. Get in. Oh, good putt.
Shit.
Good try, dude. Come on, dude. Bro, that was such a good roll.
We don't make the
It's not good.
putts today.
It's just not going in the hole. Chase, I don't know what to say. It's just not going in the hole. Some days it's just not going in the hole.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah.
What else? What
No,
else
it's
I can do?
so
you know?
frustrating.
Sometimes it's just, I just think like I'm doing everything good.
Yep.
It's just about
Just a little here, a little there. We got a par 5. Make eagle here. We can make eagle. Maybe an albatross. That'd be so sick. We've got to do something special today. Left edge of the right bunker, those far bunkers, those 4 far
Yes.
bunkers. The left edge of the right one.
the right one.
Yep. That's beautiful.
No,
Let's go.
I don't reach them, right?
Oh, he'll be fine. You hit him, it's fine.
Yeah.
Probably be
So
better.
there. Let's go.
Nice drive.
Thank
Let's
you.
go. Good stuff, brother. Since he's in the fairway, Chase, I am full force smoking this one.
Wow. Yes.
That's what I can normally do, Carlos, but not all. I haven't been able to do that all day, bro. Gosh.
She's a boy.
Okay,
She's
just-
a boy.
No, nobody's made an albatross, so this is our chance to do it, bro. We can do it. Oh my goodness. What are you looking forward to most for next year? Just the Grand Slams?
Complete the calendar Grand Slam.
Calendar Grand Slam.
Yeah,
You think you can do it?
Australian Open.
So who's
that's-
done it? Who's done it?
Who's on it? Roger, Rafa, Djokovic, and then it was like way,
Long time ago?
like I would say Sampras,
Okay.
but I'm not
Pete?
sure, or Agassi.
Yeah.
Then
Thanks,
I think
dude.
Rod Lever for sure,
Yeah.
and then I don't know who. I don't know who more, to be honest.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like not too many people. That's a man. That's a man. In women's, Serena Williams for sure.
Yeah. Venus?
Venus, I don't know. Probably, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if she won Roland Garros.
Gotcha. All right. How far we got?
71, 59 cover.
Perfect.
Sorry, say again.
71, so that's 64
64
meters. Go.
Oh, more.
This
Ah,
grass
that's
is
so-
getting you. This is not easy. Little Bermuda. A little short. Still
A
good
good
chance for
chance.
eagle.
That's a good chance, though. Yeah.
Oh, when I hit that, I'm like, wow, that is a chance to go in. If it just is the right distance. Unfortunately, it was the wrong distance. I use a clock system, so it's
Yeah.
about how far I take it back. So like I have 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, and 11 o'clock. And I can go anything in between. So I just built a clock system for how hard to hit it.
And the finish as well, or the finish is always the same?
It just randomly depends
Oh,
on
okay.
what this, because if I go down after it, there's gonna be a different finish than if I pick it.
Yeah. It
just-
depends on the shot you
It
want.
flows. It's
Okay.
all the torques that's going
Yeah.
through it. I don't really worry about it too much.
Do we got an eagle on our hands?
Thank you.
We might.
Well,
What's your nickname?
My nickname?
Yeah,
Charlie.
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 All right, Charlie, come on. Let's knock it in, bro.
I call myself Charlie.
Yeah.
so
I heard that a couple times.
You got a nickname?
I got too many.
Too many?
Hick.
Hick?
Hick. Yeah, I've got Bad, B-A-D. It's my letters of my name. I've got B-Dog. I've got B. I've got Bryson. I've got the rope. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Right edge. Knock it in. Yep.
No, Charlie. Wow.
It's all right. All right. Nice eagle there.
All
Way to finish
along.
that up.
That
I
was
know.
your hole. That was your hole.
Finally, I did something with my life and the golf course. Dude, I'm telling you, I cannot wait to hit a couple rallies with you. Just to rally with you a bit, or I want to feel what a serve feels like going up against the best player in the world. I want to feel that. Yeah, I do something called sting pong with my friends. So back when I was younger, we were just teenagers and we were just idiots, and we would play sting pong. So when you lost a point, you'd turn around and you'd have your back exposed and you'd drop it on the table and you hit it as hard as you can and they're back. It was so much fun.
I don't know why we have fun, hitting up friends.
I don't know. It's not nice, but it's hilarious.
But, yeah, that's
so
true.
Funny.
All right, 3 hole-in-ones, and we do it.
3 hole-in-ones and we got it. Okay, if you would make this, if this is gonna be a hole-in-one, I would run in that lake, but there's too many alligators around here, so I don't know. I'm not gonna go in the lake. I would have jumped in the lake had there been no alligators. Knock it in. Oh, be right. Be right, darling. Oh, what a shot. Sit down, don't spin. Let's go. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, ball. Come on, come on. Oh, it didn't spin back.
Good shot.
What a shot, though, by you, partner. Great shot. That's just what we needed for this challenge. And right there, that's what makes golf all worth it.
Yeah, that's true.
All worth it.
What I feel is like I could play horrible whole day, but the last hole I make birdie, I make a really great shot.
Changes everything. Literally changes everything.
And that shot makes you the wish to come back.
Yep.
I mean, he was a foot away from glory.
That's right. Knock it in. Nice. Good birdie.
It's a legit bird.
That was a legit bird by Carlos. Can you believe it? He's a baller. He's a baller, baby.
You got more par 3 birdies than Bryson.
Shut up. I need a nice 3-wood here. Come on, partner. Hook in there. Hook. Hook. Oh, gosh, such a good try, man. That's over there. It's on grass. I'm gonna hit this one a little higher, a little bit more of a draw. Be right. Be the right club. Go in.
A little long.
A little long?
Oh!
Are you kidding me? Did you see that? That was right on line. Where is it?
I was waiting for him like.
Long, but in line with the pin, I think.
Dude, I thought that might have gone in. I literally thought that might have gone in. You got to check the tape on that one.
I was waiting for him.
I'm serious. If yours would have gone in, and then I make that, that would have been nuts. You saw that though, right? I mean, that was.
Wow.
Dude, that was right on line. Oh my goodness. That's why I live for golf right there. Oh, it's just past it, man. That had to have landed right next to the hole, too.
Wow, what? So pretty good.
Dude, that was right on line. Please go in. 36 feet. One thing I do for speed is I always know how far I am from the hole. So I'm 36 feet. Like however you do it for your own steps or
to be honest, I don't have anything special to do. So right now the control of my distance is like,
yeah.
It doesn't for me. I can count the feet, I can count the meters, but it's still.
You don't know how far you hit.
Yeah, I still don't know exactly.
Yep.
How.
So how you do it is like you do like 2 or 3 steps or however many. And then you go, how far do I need to take it back to hit it 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps? Yeah. That's how I would start practicing. And then you just get comfortable with feel. So all you're gonna do is for 2 steps, you close your eyes and you go, okay, that's what a 2-step putt is. That's what a 3-step putt is. That's what a 1-step putt is. So you're just getting like calibrated to your feel.
I gotta go practicing just.
Oh, that was a good roll too, man. That broke a lot. Did you see how much that broke?
It breaks more than we thought.
I did not think it was going to be like that.
Sure. Sure.
Boom! Right off that thing. God, I wanted to snap the club there. Golly, that looked like it was dead in the hole every time. Can you help us a little bit?
It's all for the vibes at this point.
Well, that's really insulting. That is just driver's too much, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
320 front. Not gonna lay up on the last hole.
No. If you laid up at this point, what were we doing out here?
Yeah, I just hit an iron like Martin Borgmeyer.
Yeah.
Oh, pump it. Let's go. That's so good. Be right. That's got to be pretty good. Dude, that was striped. Great drive.
It started.
You started to
Hit it
get
well.
Yeah. Now we got to go play another 18.
Yeah. Go left. Go left.
Come on, ball. Hang it.
Left.
Why not drawing? Son of a gun. Well, I've not been hitting it well today, Chase. Now, this is a little into the grain, so you can be more aggressive to the flag. Like you can hit it closer to the flag. Get closer, dude. That's way better. Nice distance control there. Hey, out of way. Way to conquer that. That's sick.
That's a good total.
That was great. This is just so pathetic.
That one a little bit more in the left or
A little more left than that. Yeah,
way better?
that's perfect. Roll it in. Oh, my story
Just
of
a
the
bit
day.
more. Yeah.
Story
That's
of the
good.
day. And that's the story of the day. Wow. That is unfortunately all of my fault. Thanks,
No,
bro. That
come
was
on.
fun, man.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
I appreciate it. That was great.
It's been a real pleasure for me.
Now it's time
be
for you to go
honest.
kick my ass in tennis.